Good afternoon. It's February 16th, 2023. And today we really had, this massive sell-off in the overnight. And for the rest of the day, it was like, really, we just had this trend up, a break, and a couple legs up. But this was just sideways stuff with an upward bias until it sold off. I really thought that we would get this measured move. And let me make my screen brighter. The reason I thought we would make this measured move was because this leg, or the measured leg, would bring us up to the close, but it just never happened. And that's why you have to stick to short-term stuff. And that's when you get good at the short-term stuff, that's when you really will see a good improvement in your account. So anyway, I did not see a whole lot I like today. So I'm really excited to see Mac's interpretation of this, because a lot of these I was just like, you could argue for it, but I don't like it. There was a second entry right here at like 12:30 that I liked it. That was pretty much it. So let's take a look. So we had this really strong sell-off in the overnight. I think 5 o'clock comes like right, so yeah, like right there, and there's just no way to get in it because we had this news item at 5:30, and so maybe you take this off the trend line, but I don't think you would have that trend line. I think you would have this trend line after because of the midline. But anyways, and the midline's holding, so maybe you take these good signal bars off the midline, because this is clearly a very, very strong trend down. So look at the corrections. Like Mac always says, you have 2 bars of correction right here, 1 bar, 1 bar, 2 little bars, nothing but dojis here, 1 bar, dojis, 2 bars, 1 bar. So I think this one and this one you might have considered, but I'm not going to mark those. Anyway, we get an overshoot, then just some sideways action before the market open. But after that super strong trend down, you definitely might want to consider taking the second entry short right here. We got a break. We didn't get a new low. That was an extremely strong move down. So these are all reasons to consider that. It's off the EMA. It's like a double test. But anyway, then we get 2 legs down to a new low. We just start going sideways. Another leg down. And really, I just drew this range from this point to these highs, and you can see the measured move comes down here, and that midline is holding prices. So I don't see anything in here. We get this steep move up, probably something like that. You see you get a break, matching highs, but that's a second entry short with a lot of room back to the EMA, so you could definitely consider that. Come down, test the opening price, bounce, and just so much overlap in here. You might consider this one on like a double test with room back to the EMA, but it's just the first entry. It's just not ideal. You get these lower highs, but this is just way too congested for me, for my liking. I don't think you can take that because we haven't had consistent lows. And then we reverse, and there's no reversal setup. And it's a shame there's nothing in here either. I don't think you would have this trend line just yet. If you did, perhaps you take this on an aggressive like hidden second entry, but you would be playing this range at that point probably. So I'm not crazy about that. but it does turn out to be an uptrend. A lot of people did like that. And you get another second entry, no signal bar. And we're just going up, sideways, up, sideways. You didn't, it's a shame right here you don't get a signal bar for, actually, this is a second entry long. I don't like that. I don't like that. This looks like a double top to me. But right here, you don't get a second entry long. First entry, second entry. Or, I mean, you don't get a signal bar. That's a shame, but that's just the way it is. And then we get a break. You can see they trap people here on the second entry long. And you get an outside bar, and then it goes higher. So people probably just saw this trap and liked this signal bar and took it. And then you get this technically second entry that far away from the EMA, right at this important price level. I think I might have had the range drawn on these closes right here, so it was a little lower. So we're just going sideways, really. A lot of congestion in here, you see. I, I don't like any of this. Technically, this is a second entry, so maybe you take that right off that support. And you come up here, lower high, room back to the midline. Right here, second entry off of resistance, but we just bounced off that midline, so you know, the bias is up here in this range. Get a quick sell-off. I guess a lot of people like this, and a lot of people like the lower high, so you get a quick sell-off, and then it bounces, and you get a leg up, and I thought we would get two legs up, but we didn't. So really, you just get one leg up, break, two legs up to a new high. Yeah, I was thinking you could take this because this market, it really looked like it was trying to reverse and go higher after these legs of correction. All that support right there. So when we break out and test it twice, that's a failure. And it's a second entry long. I really like that. You could see a lot of people like that, but just not enough to keep buying it to make that measured leg up. So we hit that measured move of the range, and prices can't go any higher. So maybe you take this lower high that bounces off the measured move, and we come back, we find support on that midline again, and you get like a double test right here. Pretty good signal bar. Bounces right off that price level. And we're just going back and forth. We break out to the high side again, and it fails. Perhaps you take this lower high, but if you don't take that, you get a nice failure right there. It's in congestion, but I think if you know what's going on, you can take that. You can see a ton of people like that. Big sell-off. That's a huge runner right there. You can see people just taking their profits right here. Comes back, tests this level. They sell off again, and you get this second entry. It's actually a second entry. It also looks like a double test to me, so maybe you take that. Just not ideal. I mean, we have a break of this channel now. You come down here, you get double bottom. I looked at this as a first entry, second entry off that measured move. This is a strong move down. Yeah, we did have a break of this larger channel, but this kind of looks like one leg down, so we'll probably get a new low from that, and that's a nice bearish bar, so I think you got to take that. And then we test that opening price, bounce a couple times, and you get a second entry short again, but we already had a break and a couple legs down to a new low, so I think that's pushing it. And that's like 1240, so that brings you into the end of the day. So that's the way I saw it today. That's the way I played it. I hope everyone had a great day. I'll be back tomorrow.